hell of a summer, let's talk about it. I know our boy from Stranger Things is all grown up. Hell of a Summer is a horror comedy written by Finn Wolfhard and Bill Burke. Honestly, kind of excited. A bunch of young guys making a movie. Does anyone else feel older seeing that Finn is literally 22 years old? I feel super duper umped right now. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm not even gonna play. I feel old as hell. This film actually premiered in 2023. It premiered at the Toronto International Film Festival. It wasn't until recently Neon picked it up, and that's why it's in theaters today. Who doesn't love a good horror comedy? I personally would like to say it was a bloody good time, and it was definitely reminiscent of those nostalgic 80s slasher films. Mini spoiler alert, owners of Camp Pineway were murked instantly. I'm sorry. John and Kathy were out there chilling next to a bonfire. They get killed. That's kind of like in the very first scene, so it's like, you know, it sets it up that something's gonna go very wrong at Camp Pineway this summer. Shortly after that scene happens, you get introduced to Jason Hochberg. He is clearly a troubled 24-year-old man who's going back to summer camp for like the 8th time, I believe. And his mom's low-key like, yo, what the fuck are you doing, bro? Like, you're a little too old for this. But you know, the owners said, you know, allegedly to him that they wanted him back there specifically. As I was watching this, I'm like, what is wrong with this guy? Emotional damage. This movie stars Finn Wolfhard, Bill Burke, DeFaro Wunatai, Fred Hetchinger, and Abby Quinn. I know, this is an all-star lineup. I personally know most of these faces. Shout out to Reservation Dogs. That show is one of my absolute favorites. So I didn't really know DeFaro was going to be in this movie, and I was pleasantly surprised, and I absolutely loved his performance. I don't want to give away too much because, you know, if you're a big fan of slasher films, you'll understand what I mean right away when I say that. It's intermingled with that classic 80s slasher film style, mixed in with Gen Z humor, which I thought was awesome. Honestly, I thought it was awesome. I had a good time with it. When I was watching this film, I had like a sense of nostalgia come over me and what it truly felt like to go to camp. Even though I'd only gone to camp once, and I believe it was for like a week, it brings you back to what it felt like being, maybe if you're young right now, you already know, but like if you're in your 30s or a millennial, which means you're probably in your 30s, it kind of brought you back to those younger years. And obviously this is applicable to Gen X too. It brings you back to like that fun, nostalgic time of what it felt like to be carefree and in your late teens to early 20s. I do see that this film has a mixed bag of reviews. There's been some people praising it, and then obviously some of the reviews aren't so good. So the reviews are reviewing, and like I always say, don't let the reviews dictate what you're going to watch, even though you're probably watching this and being like, what the fuck are you talking about? Watch it for yourself. I'm gonna say watch it if you're a horror fan, and watch it if you want to support new ideas in Hollywood, especially when it comes to these two younger men just like creating this movie. They had no financial backers at first, or they had trouble finding financial backers, and they ended up getting this film made. Sorry for all the glazing. I just want more original ideas, and I want just like younger filmmakers to get chances in Hollywood. And yes, we know Stranger Things connects, whatever. It is what it is, but more young filmmakers should get chances at making films. I truly believe that. For me as an aspiring filmmaker, this film had a very basic set at a camp, and I absolutely loved that because it was very realistic to a budget, and that's something that I was like calculating in my own brain, thinking about how much did this film cost. Obviously talent, there's clearly some sponsors when it comes to the vehicles, and I'm just like, you know what, it couldn't have been too expensive to make this movie just because, you know, it was in a remote location. It looked like it was a lot of fun. It looks like the actors had a lot of fun making this film, so that's what counts. As I was mentioning earlier, they were having a little issues trying to get the film made. I wanted to mention that Jason Bateman is one of the producers of this film along with a handful of other people, and I thought that was very cool because why not help out younger filmmakers when it comes to making newer ideas and bringing movies to life. So far at the box office, it hasn't gained much traction, but with Stranger Things right around the corner, I'm not going to be too surprised if Netflix puts a bid in on this film and picks it up and puts it on the streaming platform. If you want to know who the killer is in this slasher film, you're definitely going to have to watch to find out. And I want to give my stamp of approval saying that this is a movie you should watch, but don't take it too seriously. It's overall not that serious of a film. It's a lot of fun and it has a couple twists and turns, but it's overall just a fun time. I genuinely liked it, and I want you guys to watch this film too. So please let me know in the comments what horror movies do you want me to review next. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and until next time.